Are you ready?
Do it.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Call our regular meeting to order. It's July 5th. Go ahead and do the pledge. And Mark, can you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mark. All right. Let's go ahead with roll call.
Commissioner District 1, Randy Netherland.
I'm here.
Commissioner District 2, Kevin Schutte.
Here.
Commissioner District 3, Sharon Trask.
I'm here. Thank you. Move on to correspondence and organizational business. Do we have any correspondence?
We do. The Washington State Liquor and Cannabis Board sent in the following. Notice of special occasion liquor license applications for Allen Community Association, Hood Canal Salmon Enhancement Group, and North Mason Rotary Club. Location change notice for Black Sushi Cannabis, and license renewal information for liquor and cannabis license holders. Scott Gelatley sent in a letter regarding property concerns and information. Eric Steffens, Conservation Director, sent in a notice of property acquisition in Tahuya. The Washington Secretary of the Interior sent in a letter regarding payments in lieu of taxes program. And the Olympic Region Clean Air Agency sent in a letter regarding the Washington Clean Air Act.
Great, thank you. During this time, I would like to go ahead and ask Mark to give us kind of an update as to the fire.
Our 4th of July
Our
fire.
4th of July fire.
So I can give you the details that I have so far. And so yesterday afternoon about 2 p.m., Central Mason responded to a fire out off of McCune Prairie. Got out of hand, so they contacted the Department of Natural Resources. Our emergency management was notified about 4 p.m. in the afternoon. They had to evacuate 250 homes. 260 acres were fully engulfed at midnight. They were able to establish a fire line around 90% of the fire last night with a bulldozer, so they created a fire line. The state emergency department actually officially activated our emergency management operations. And John Taylor, our emergency manager, requested and was approved for FMAG, which stands for Fire Management Assistance Grant. And so some additional resources are coming in today. So we did have quite an aerial show, I believe, yesterday afternoon with resources from the Department of Natural Resources in fighting the fire, which thank you for your service and thank you for showing up. Really appreciate the hard work of all of our Central Mason crews and any other crews that responded to the fire. Like I said, some reserves firefighters are coming in this morning, so they're arriving as we speak. And they currently have incident command at the Mason County High School. And there's also a shelter for individuals that have had to evacuate their homes at the Oakland Bay Middle School, which is at 3301 North Shelton Springs Road. So if individuals need a place to stay while they're evacuated, they can go to Oakland Bay Middle School. I believe that there are a number of other organizations around the community that have kind of opened up their doors to individuals that might have been impacted by the fire. Those aren't specifically through our emergency management division, but they may be available for individuals that are looking at social media and see that. So those resources are not part of the Mason County's response, but definitely part of our community's response to the events that occurred. So we're hopeful last night that the weather kind of calmed down the fire a little bit, so the winds died down a little bit, which definitely helped, and we should receive continual updates today.
Great, thank you, and huge thanks out to DNR and everybody else that helped with everything that was going on. We have an amazing community, and DNR, we were close enough so we would go check on it every now and then, we were lucky enough, if you can call it luck, to see one of the planes drop their fire suppression. It was skill. They're pretty good at what they do.
I think they had a pretty significant concern with our PUD3 transmission lines and communication lines, kind of right in the middle of it all. And so I think they really focused on trying to prevent the fire from impacting those transmission lines.
Right, and I believe they came from other fires throughout the state as well.
Yeah, I was talking to our emergency manager this morning, and I believe he said that there was 8 other fires going on at the same time. So there's one that started up in Forks about the same time that ours started. And so the air resources were kind of spread throughout our state. And they were able to stay here as long as they could before they had to actually land due to the fact that they'd been in the air so long.
What have we heard for cause? I've heard a couple of different things. I heard transit burning trash, and I heard power line.
I've not heard any confirmation. I think it's still being investigated.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right, let's move on to item number 5 then. Oh, this is a time set aside for citizen input, and our room is pretty vacant. Do we have anyone online that would like to comment? And I see nothing, so let's go ahead and move on to item number 6.
Madam Chair, I move adoption of today's agenda as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion adopted. Moving on to item number 7.
Madam Chair, I move for approval of the June 6th and June 20th, 2023 regular minutes and the June 12th, 2023 briefing minutes as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes of the June 6th and June 20th, 2023 regular meeting minutes. My goodness, and it begins. And June 12th, 2023 briefing minutes. Call for the vote. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. All right, let's move on to approval of our action agenda. Commissioners will read through each item. Items can be removed for a separate discussion or vote. Commissioner Netherland, you could take items 8.1 through 8.4. Commissioner Schutte, 8.5 through 8.9.
Okay. Madam Chair, item number 8.1 reads approval of warrants and treasurer's electronic remittance. Claims Clearing Fund, warrants number 8097047 through 8097137, the amount $1,322,998.46. Direct Deposit Fund, warrants number 97605 through 98011, the amount $853,981.38. Salary Clearing Fund, warrants number 7007445 through 7007470, the amount $567,636.34. The Treasurer's electronic remittance was $2,830,125.98. Item number 8.2, approval for the chair to sign the agreement for the 2023 through 2025 biennium contract number K2420 between the Washington State Conservation Commission and Mason County for Voluntary Stewardship Program, the VSP, implementation and approval for the county administrator to sign amendment number 3 to Mason County Contract 19-053 interlocal agreement between Mason County and Mason County Conservation District to perform the work under contract. Item number 8.3, approval of the Auditor's Office budget amendment to move $52,250 from elections cash and improvement to elections machinery and equipment to purchase a vote-by-mail envelope sorting machine for a total amount of $200,750. Item number 8.4, approval of the resolution for a sole source purchase of a Kenwood multi-site VoIP mini console in the amount of $28,659.50.
Item 8.5, approval of the memorandum of understanding between the Mason County Sheriff's Office and Woodworkers Local Lodge W38 IAM Corrections Support Staff to extend the temporary promotion of Correction Support Officer Brad McQuaid to Alternative Sentencing Unit
coordinator from July 1st, 2023 to July 1st, 2024. Item 8.6, approval to reappoint Kevin Frankenberger as a regular member of the Mason County Board of Equalization for the remainder of the 3-year term, which will expire May 31st, 2026. Item 8.7, approval to appoint Terry Arcieri as an alternate member to the Mason County Board of Equalization to fill an unexpired term, which will expire May 31st, 2026. Item 8.8, approval of the regional agreement of the Cascade Pacific Action Alliance region participating local governments relating to opioid fund allocation based on the 9 Washington State Accountable Community of Health regions. And item 8.9, approval of the following county road closures. Cloqualum Road from milepost 4.595 to milepost 12.781 on Monday, August 7th, 2023 to Friday, August 11th, 2023 to complete the Rock Creek Bridge Repair Project. And North Shore Road from milepost 3.595 to milepost 14.191 on Monday, September 25th, 2023 to Friday, September 29th, 2023 to complete the Little Shoefly Culvert Replacement Project at milepost 8.180.
Great, thank you. All right, commissioners, having read through each item, are there any items you would like to have removed for separate discussion or vote?
No, Commissioner.
Is there anyone else that would like to have any items removed for special, or for discussion or vote? All right. Hearing none, or seeing none,
Madam Chair, I move for approval of the action agenda as presented.
Second?
all right. Thank you. Do we have any further discussion? All right. I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Do we have any department heads or elected officials that would like to talk to the commissioner, say anything?
One thing I'd like to add is that as far as the county declaring an emergency, we're coordinating that with the state right now. So we're waiting for the state to kind of give us the blessing to, so it's interesting in terms of emergency response. So fire mobilization is kind of their own independent resource that's utilized, as well as kind of separate from other emergencies that occur. So since when it goes beyond the resources that firefighters need to handle an emergency, then we usually set up our own emergency declaration. So if I receive word from the state that they would like us to set up an emergency declaration, then I will be asking the commissioners to do so.
That would also include, though, if they needed any of our equipment or anything outside of their normal, we would want to declare that.
Absolutely.
Because the partnerships can't do it without that, so, you know, I have no problem if they want to call us in to do it, or if you wanted to put it on even for later today, if it's just a good, wise move to have, so they can access our equipment, backhoes and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you. All right, we do not have any public hearings scheduled at this time. So let's move on to item number 11, board calendars and reports. Commissioner Schutte, if you'd go first, Commissioner Netherland, and then I'll follow.
Great, thank you. Just before I dive into the calendar, just a word of thanks to everybody who stepped up yesterday. You know, these events don't look at the calendar and say it's a holiday, and so we're not going to have any fires or any kind of emergencies. And so, just a real hats off to our first responders throughout the county, and also thank you to everybody that I've heard from over the past 24 hours since the incident began. I mean, everybody from Congressman Kilmer to the YMCA to the school district, Joe Avalos and Mark Friedman from the Thurston Mason BHASO, Steve Gilmore from Public Services, just all of these organizations that work closely with members in our community, saying we're ready to step up if need be. And so I think that's, you know, these are all hands type events, and our community is certainly resilient and strong, and I think we're strong because of those partnerships. So I really hope today the weather cooperates. It's going to be another hot and dry day, but I hope the weather cooperates and that we get more progress on the fire. And so we'll stand ready to do whatever we can, and in most cases in these events, that's getting out of everybody's way and letting them do what they're trained to do, and so we'll continue to wait for updates. Going forward, we have briefings after today's meeting. Also, later on this week, have a meeting with the Conservation District to talk about the Skokomish Valley projects, and then have a Transforming Our Communities event debrief with UW. Looking ahead to next week, briefings, Mason Crisis Services System of Care Work Group. Have a meeting with Olympic College, have a meeting with MACECOM's board, as well as KEDA, Criminal Justice Working Team, Mason County Opioid Stakeholders Group meeting, and IT Steering Committee. And then some constituent meetings, as well as back for briefings on Monday the 17th with my BHASO staff check-in ahead of our next regular meeting on the 18th.
Okay, briefings, Mason Transit Authority, North Mason Chamber of Commerce meeting, Mason County Housing Authority meeting, Beards Cove HOA. Again, thank you to our staff who put that together. They were wonderful. The community definitely appreciates them, and they worked very well to inform the community of Beards Cove what was happening there. I went also to the North Mason Fire Station with Kelly. We looked over a few more things. Washington State Risk Pool. We're going over the different ways to assess risk for perhaps a different way of looking at how to do charges. I hope we keep it simple. The more difficult we make it, the more chance there is people are going to leave. I attended a candidates forum here in Shelton, the Rotary installation. I met with a Shelton council member for breakfast. I was the keynote speaker at the Kitsap Alliance of Property Owners. The next one coming up is a HOA meeting with staff again in Russellwood. I have a law enforcement firefighter meeting coming up, planning team meeting, Olympic Regional Clean Air Authority meeting, the memorial for Richard White, grand opening of Veteran Village, and an Olympic Regional Clean Air Authority finance meeting. And I think that brings us back to other briefings, and we do it all over again.
Thank you. So later today, after our meetings, I will be heading to Vancouver for my public works board meetings. That'll be through Friday evening. I want to remind everybody that the Bluegrass Festival is going on this weekend at the soccer fields up by MCRA. And so we are helping serve Zin's famous food on Friday night, so I'm pretty excited about that one. Probably do some taste testing. Candidates in the Park, hosted by the Mason County Republican Women on Saturday. Again, Bluegrass Festival through Sunday. We have our briefing on Monday, Wasac Virtual Assembly, Turning Point meetings, local emergency planning meeting, another Turning Point meeting, business after hours at Peninsula Credit Union. Let's see, it's the EDC board retreat, I think, is Thursday the 13th. I'll confirm that one. Public Works Board Executive Committee meeting, Pack Mountain Budget Adoption meeting. TIPCAP is having their special meeting at the Shelton Civic Center on Thursday the 13th. I believe it's beginning at 5. So invite the public to go to that as well. Public Works Board traditional meeting. And I feel like there's something else going on too. You said, oh, the grand opening for and that's on the 18th after our meeting, yeah, for the Shelton's Veterans Village. So that's on the 18th. And that brings us back to today.
Madam Chair, I will probably be, there's a good chance I will see you at the TIPCAP meeting, at the Bluegrass Festival, and candidates in the park as well.
All right, sounds good.
Same, just to be.
Yeah.
Ditto? Yeah. Okay. All right, do we have anything else?
Madam Chair, move we adjourn.
I'll second.
We're adjourned.